Hangout on air is live. Uh-oh. I gotta find my soundboard here. You ready to go?
Yeah.
Hey, Cobb, what time is it?
It's Father's Day. I'm going to be a dad in just a few weeks, so this is the last Father's Day that won't be about me.
Cool story, bro.
It's tea time. It's TMV and pee time.
And you're gonna hate me. I did not start recording. We're gonna do that again.
Yeah, that's fine.
Alright, I'm recording. And hey, Cobb, what time is it?
Started recording again. Sorry.
Okay, let's try that again. Try that again. Alright, you ready? Alright. Hey, Cobb, what time is it?
It's Father's Day. I'm going to be a dad in just a few weeks.
Wait. Stop. Let's just try that again, like without all the delay. Hey, Cobb, what time is it?
It's Father's Day. I'm going to be a dad in just a few weeks, so this is the last Father's Day that won't be about me.
Cool story, bro.
It's tea time. It's TMV and pee time. Depending if you're listening or watching, we don't mind. It's tea time. It's TMV and pee time. As long as you are listening or watching, we don't mind. As long as you are listening or watching, we don't mind.
Welcome to the Tweeting Mohr videocast with Brad, Hutchings, and Jay Cobb. We're videocasting live on YouTube today from 1 p.m. to about 1:40 p.m. Pacific. We're going to have a great time today. If you're watching this, please share a link with your friends. How you doing, Cobb? Soon to be father, Cobb.
Well, Brad, great to be live on YouTube with the TMV. Hey, everyone out there in Mohrland, welcome to the Tweeting Mohr videocast, home of the premier source of sports fan fiction.
Here's how to interact with us live. No phone calls today. Today, just tweet our show, hashtag the TMV, because we're going to grind through it, get it done quick so we can spend quality time with our families.
Or in Brad's case, quality time on Twitter making fun of soccer. Hashtag those tweets, the TMV.
What's on our plate today, buddy?
We have winners of the week, your take, my take, topical tweets, and a special feature I like to call Hipster or Canadians, and live tweets from our audience.
Alright, man, let's go. Winners of the week.
On Monday, we saw your favorite podcast win their third Twitter hat trick. Follow Tyler and Ronnie on Twitter at YFPFP. You are hat trick winners. And Tuesday, first-time winner Joe Martini won his. On Tuesday, follow Joe Martini on Twitter at JoeMartini90. Now, this guy had a grassroots Twitter hat trick campaign. He started tweeting the show, started following other tweeters and other Twitter hat trick club members. He started interacting. He started faving and retweeting. Those faves and retweets got reciprocated, and eventually, what you saw on Tuesday, he won the Twitter hat trick contest. After getting hot, then icing the competition with some murdered clever hashtags. Follow Joe Martini on Twitter at JoeMartini90. I already said that. Why am I saying that again? Anyway, on Wednesday,
you'll be saying it. Actually, Cobb, you're going to be saying it again in a minute anyway, so yeah. Get some practice.
Hey, no kidding. Foreshadowing. Friday. On Wednesday, no foreshadowing on Wednesday. Etchitman took the crown on Wednesday. Follow Etchitman on Twitter at Shecky14. He just won his 11th Twitter hat trick. Redman came very close.
Yes, and Etchit, man, it's a good thing he has 6 fingers on his left hand, because he wouldn't know what to do with that 11th ring.
Possibly a foot, maybe? Or
perhaps.
Another appendage. Thursday, Charlene. I don't know what she would do with her 11th Twitter hat trick ring, but
she's got
follow
10
her
to go.
on Twitter, or her first, because she won her first Thursday. She's on Twitter at Fueled by Char.
And one thing you need to know, Charlene and Joe Martini actually run a hockey blog together. And I was thinking about reaching out to them today, but, just a little short notice, and we want to just get this done. But we're going to reach out to them soon for hockey knowledge.
Yeah, considering hockey season's over.
Right.
Let's
keep it going.
So hopefully it will be real soon.
Right.
And Tuesday's winner, Joe Martini, won Friday's Twitter hat trick contest. His second of the week, and that's Florida's 4th Twitter hat trick contest in a row. Yes, Florida won Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Hey, Florida, let's keep it going, and let's see if we can get a 5th one on Friday. Hey, Brad,
Monday.
Why is Cobb talking about all this Florida weed business? I don't know. Maybe because I'm from Miami? Anyway, special shout out to Jay Taylor Gang and Sparky the Mailman for winning their free Hey Man t-shirts for tweeting out Jay Mohr Sports the most on Friday. JJ said he would go ahead, Brad.
I'm sorry.
Me. It's cool. It's only my bit.
Got it. It's a $50 value that they won. That's pretty impressive.
That is impressive.
Yes. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm done.
Okay. That's good. I suppose I'm going to get talked over in my take a whole bunch. Here we go. Brad's take. As the great Blue Dini might say, this is going to be a bag take. A mixed bag of topics, talked to exhaustion in the 5 minutes Cobb allotted me. Okay, so first the Sterlings. We're all now in a holding pattern until the judge decides whether Donald was just cover your ears, Hayden, fucking goofy, or is actually batshit crazy and unable to handle his financial affairs. He seems to be hinting that all he wants is his dignity, and that Silver could solve this by rescinding the lifetime ban on participation. But the issue of Shelley retaining 10% of the team through a charitable offshoot is still on the table here, even though Silver has said that any Sterling participation in the new Clippers is a non-starter. I have no doubt the Sterling shenanigans are a deliberate plan between the Sterlings and their lawyers to put everything on hold until a soft mid-September deadline to divest before the 2014-2015 season starts, and gain concessions from the league in Silver's last-ditch attempt to make this go away without a nasty fight. Silver's deferred to the probate court in the interest of looking patient, but if that doesn't solve the issue, he needs to summon his inner Gary Bettman and apply an unrelenting forecheck on the Sterlings. Tying into one of Cobb's recent takes, if the Sterlings are still involved in the NBA team in September, it would be a good mid-career year for LeBron to rest up and an opportunity to increase his own value while doing so. Second, hockey. There's only one voice I've heard say that this postseason wasn't some of the best hockey ever put on television. That voice is my favorite Jay Mohr Sports fill-in guy, Rocco Pendola. HGTV plus teams involved plus Los Angeles plus hybrid icing plus hard play and no fights plus sustained frenetic pace put millions on the edges of their seats. Hockey's a sport that I finally want to make time for through the year. Third, memories of soccer. My first real memory of soccer was first grade in Valencia, California. At recess, there was one soccer ball and 100 kids chasing it around a mostly triangular large field, with the game ending each recess when someone kicked the ball into an adjacent backyard. When I lost my first tooth, the school nurse taped it up in a piece of paper and gave it to me to bring home. I then lost it again on the soccer field at recess. We moved to the Bay Area in summer before 3rd grade. I played 2 years of Little League, sucked badly the first, but had fun the second because my dad coached the team. Happy Father's Day, by the way. I started soccer in 4th grade, basically sucked badly, then had 2 great coaches the next year who turned me into a goalkeeper and taught me how to direct my defense. Cutting angles, using my height to challenge and intimidate opposing forwards, etc. We let 3 goals by the whole season, and my defense was my team on the team. Looking back, that year was the moment I became a leader and developed my general leadership style. My parents had joined an adult co-ed league as well. While many of the kids went to church on Sundays, we worshipped the soccer gods. Many of the people I'm most fond of on Facebook were other kids of players on that team. We went to see the San Jose Earthquakes play and got the stands rumbling by stomping our feet during the game, rumbling just like an earthquake. And in retrospect, that had to be seriously dangerous. Punchline, soccer's a sport I played. It was most responsible for turning me into any semblance of an athlete and learning to lead people. It's a sport my parents coached and played. It was what our family did for about 10 years, and still, I can't get interested in it on the TV. I've tried repeatedly. It's a no-go. Sorry, world. What do you think, Cobb? I think Cobb's gone. Oh my. Where'd you go, Mr. Cobb? I gotta get him back. He dropped out. Nice. Can you get back on? Well, we're waiting for Cobb here. Sorry about this. Apparently I talked his ears off. Mr. Cobb. Throw in a little music. How about that? Wait for Cobb. Let's go, Cobb. Cobb says 1 second. Still waiting for Cobb. Still waiting for Cobb to get back here. Should I call him? Maybe I should call him. Oh, here he is. Let me kill the music, dude. Can I hear you? I can't hear you. No here. You're silent, Cobb.
All right.
Oh, now you're good. Okay.
Apparently the Google Hangouts, my Google crapped out, like all of it, like Chrome, Google Plus,
nice.
The Hangout, everything.
Tell you what, how about if I'll read my last paragraph again, and then you can.
Yeah, because I still have to pull up the show notes because that all that closed at the same time.
Why don't you tell me when you're ready, and I'll reread that last paragraph, and we'll go from there.
Oh, okay.
Okay, TJ.
Oh, okay. I heard all of it, and as I was getting ready to, Google Chrome needs to launch an external application. Jesus, should I launch it or whatever?
Yeah, launch it. See what's up.
Open. Yeah, no one cares.
Sorry.
It's just Evernote. Ugh.
Oh.
It's asking me to launch Evernote application. I think I had too many other windows open in Chrome.
Yeah, it happens.
So I'm gonna open those pictures I need. I'm just gonna open them in Safari. Maybe that'll do it.
All right.
Just bookmark them that way. Evernote's taking forever right now.
I thought you didn't use the app. I thought you just used the on the web. Well, whatever. Tell me when you're ready. It's good. Should I go back to music for a little bit?
I thought I was using the website. It's opening the application. I don't want the application open. It's too slow.
Sounds like it.
Everything's slow right now. Because I don't like the application because I can't move stuff around. And the font's too small.
Got it.
I don't like it. Should I just cancel the synchronization? Yeah. I just want to cancel it all. We don't mind. And we wanted to do a quick show today too, and all this crashes.
It's all good, man.
Did you sing any tunes while I was gone or anything?
I really didn't. I didn't try to do anything too entertaining. Just tried to.
Alright.
You know what happened here? I see what happened here. Stop.
Yeah.
Cobb fixing his computer music.
The thing is, now I had every picture up except for the last one. Now it's gone. And I used your whole take to do it, and now they're gone. So maybe I'll just do it as we go along.
We don't need pictures either. I mean, this is going to be audio. This video thing's going to suck at this point, so I don't think anybody's going to watch past here.
Alright, in that case, I'm good to go.
You're good to go. So I'm going to read the last bit of my take, and then I'll read the last two paragraphs, okay?
Uh-huh.
And then you can go. My parents had joined an adult co-ed league as well. While many of the kids went to church on Sundays, we worshiped the soccer gods. Many of the people I'm most fond of on Facebook now were other kids of players on that team. We went to see the San Jose Earthquakes play and got the stands rumbling by stomping our feet during the game. In retrospect, that had to be seriously dangerous. Punchline? Soccer is a sport I played. It was most responsible for turning me into any semblance of an athlete and learning to lead people. It's a sport my parents coached and played. It was what our family did for about 10 years. And still, I can't get interested in it on TV. I've tried repeatedly, and it's a no-go. Sorry, world.
Sorry, world, indeed. It's a beautiful game, Brad. And I mean, I know you playing it as long as you have. What we're watching now with the World Cup is the world's best. So it's the people that were 100, maybe 150 times better than you doing what they're best at on a world stage, playing for their countries.
You know what's kind of funny is I guess there's actually sort of a strategy and a flow and everything to these World Cup games, and it seems like there's people who actually know about soccer who can tell you what they're doing and everything, and it's really nothing I recognize. It's nothing that youth soccer ever was. Even at the highest levels of youth soccer, you might have kind of I don't know what you describe it as, maybe a triangle offense or something where you're trying to push the ball up and down up the field, obviously by kind of employing a triangle. But, you learn the basics of that in, 10 minutes, and then, with a little bit of practice, you're kind of good at it, and you learn how to challenge it and everything, and that's pretty much the game. And then, of course, there's how to deploy your defenders and everything. I don't know. I look at the TV. I don't see a game that I recognize. Like, I watch football. I could see plays that we did in high school. I mean, okay? Or I watch basketball, and, I wasn't all that great at basketball, but I could see stuff we did in rec leagues. It's not posting up, kicking it to the outside guy, getting up on a guy to defend him one-on-one, doing a zone defense or whatever. That's stuff that's recognizable. I look at soccer, I just don't get it.
I mean, it's unrecognizable, but probably because up until you're in your mid to late teens for youth soccer, It be those high school years is when soccer becomes more like it is
on the international club stage. Like what you played and what I played when I was little too is basically magnet soccer. And it's
Okay.
And the soccer ball is a magnet, and the little child players are also magnets, and they just follow the magnet ball around.
Well, we were certainly okay. Now time out. We certainly did things more sophisticated than that. I would say starting about age 12 or 13.
Right.
We're running triangle offenses and shifting back the midfielder. I mean, we didn't even call them halfbacks after like age 12. You're shifting your midfielders back, on defense when you need a little extra defense and putting them up.
Yeah, and I know. I mean, for the most part, 90% of my soccer playing was magnet soccer, and then 10% of it is playing like what you're just describing. Like my last year of soccer is when we finally figured out, hey, we can get the other player off sides if we just if we just involve a little bit of strategy,
Right.
It gets on the break. Like basically like 2 or 3 years of magnet soccer, then it grows into magnet soccer paired with 1 or 2 really good guys who actually know how to pass or run or dribble the ball. And those are the ones you just like stayed out of their way. Like the coach tried to say like, oh, we're gonna spread the field out, try to find some passing lanes or some running lanes, and it was code for get out of the really good kids' way. Is basically what it was.
Sounds like Miami soccer, man. No wonder they don't want to build you a stadium down there. Jeez. That's crazy. Well, anyway, I just see the game today. I don't really recognize it. I really don't see what's going on. There just seems to be a lot of forward and backward, and just I don't know.
Well, the game I recognize as World Cup soccer is very spread out,
yeah.
and and the funny thing is most of the scoring opportunities come on like full length sprints. Like
that is
like
kind of
corner kick, and it's basically just like one guy just takes off. And he has maybe 2 or 3 people to beat, and then it's him and the goalie, and then like one pass to the left or one pass to the right, and all of a sudden you have golazo. Did you see the Switzerland game? The end of the Ecuador-Switzerland game?
What do you think?
They didn't. The answer is probably no.
No,
let me tell you. It ended with a goal in the 93rd minute of play.
I don't even get. Okay, here's another
game.
thing I don't get. How does the extra time work with soccer? I mean, just all of a sudden they just like get an extra.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just get an extra 10 minutes. I mean, and what's going on with that? I can't figure that out.
It seems like it's arbitrary, but anytime a soccer player flops or takes time on the field, like the referee's like counting 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, and then near the end of the half, whether it's the first half or the second half, he just says, okay, that was like 2 minutes worth of Mississippis, or that was 3 minutes worth of Mississippis that some soccer player flopped and was supposedly, air quotes here, injured on the field. So they take injury time out and they add it on to the end of the half, whether it's the first half or the end of the game.
They couldn't just stop the clock. I mean, like every other sport has figured out, you can stop the clock.
Because that's such an American thing to do, is just stop time. Stop the clock.
Right.
Other
It's kind of like
Americans. We're not so pompous.
We have like digital clocks. I mean, whereas the rest of the world, they're still stuck with analog clocks. I mean, they're probably keeping time in Africa for soccer on a sundial at this point.
I can neither confirm nor deny that, but
all right.
They might not even play halves.
Yeah.
They just might play a complete game. No Gatorade breaks or water breaks, because there might not even be clean water there. Some of these places. So what's the point of even taking a water break?
All right, I grew up with the sport. I don't get it, but hey, whatever. Your turn.
It's
Cobb's take. And I got to redo that because I had the sound level down. Just
yeah,
did you want to say something else?
I would even argue that you even grew up. I would even make that argument.
Okay, that's your full court press right now. You have a point, though. You have a very good point. Cobb wins. Cobb wins my take. His turn.
When did this...
Cobb's take.
I wasn't even aware this turned into TMV Crossfire.
I keep points. We'll have extra time at the end.
Yeah, well, for injuries, for Brad's ego. For
Actually,
Brad's injured ego, we'll add 3 minutes to the end of the half.
Right, for my injured ego and for Cobb's injured internet connection.
Anyway, Cobb's take.
Okay, wait. I'll redo your stinger. Cobb's take.
I need to start things off with the Happy Father's Day. To all you fathers out there, my dad texted me this morning. Yes, he texted me first. I know that sounds terrible, but he's 3 hours ahead of me and wanted to joke about me being a father in waiting before he went to church. My father and I are a lot alike. Now, through our textersation, I asked him if he was going to be rooting for Eric Compton at the U.S. Open today. He said, of course he would. You see, Eric Compton is a local Miami boy, much like myself and my dad, spending 10 or 15 years in the junior golf, volunteering for local junior golf tournaments in Miami. He knew of Eric Compton really well. But this isn't some boring golf Miami story. This is a story of survival, of rehabilitation, of perseverance. It's about being a champion. These are Mohr traits, and that's why I wanted to share this story with you all, with all you Mohrers today. Now, I learned golf as a 16-year-old while working summers at the Biltmore Golf Course in Coral Gables, Florida. I already knew who Eric Compton was. He was the local Little League All-Star baseball player who picked up golf after his first heart transplant at the age of 12 years old. He had to learn golf while staples were in his chest. And it was basically the only activity that he could do because he could no longer run around and play soccer or run around and play baseball. And certainly something like tennis is too arduous for him as well. And it actually turned out he was really good at it. He turned out to be he actually turned out to be the best junior golfer in the state of Florida, in the U.S., and in the world as a 15-year-old. Short story here, Tiger Woods, who is now a college student, and even though Tiger was a California kid, his amateur junior golf career left South Florida abuzz. Tiger inspired dozens of young teens and preteens to pick up the gentleman's game by playing in several of these local junior golf tournaments in South Florida, many of which my father volunteered at. Local junior golf became quite a popular, very competitive, and closely followed because of Tiger's then recent success as a junior and amateur golfer. In Tiger's wake, Eric Compton and eventual LPGA champion Christy Kerr became the cream of this tough-as-nails crop of young junior, amateur, and high school golfers. Compton's heart transplant was already a well-documented side note to this rising star's young, prodigious golf career. I actually met Eric Compton as a 17-year-old working on the range of the aforementioned Biltmore Golf Course. My best friend was Coral Gables High golf team captain at my high school, and he and the golf coach always tried to get me to split time between golf and track. I thought about it, but seeing as I was the returning Coral Gables High School track captain and state track meet competitor, I didn't want my team to think I was distracted. Plus, I wasn't very good at golf anyway. It was during one of these late spring afternoons while I was working. My buddy was chatting me up while he was supposed to be practicing, and I was supposed to be picking up range baskets, where Eric Compton saw my friend, so he walked over. Eric went to another high school about 20 minutes away called Palmetto High School. We were introduced to each other. My buddy spent dozens of rounds playing with Eric in local high school tournaments and local junior tournaments, and they both knew each other really well. They talked for a little bit, and they started talking about the latest golf season, where both of us congratulated Eric on his success as the state champion in golf, and only as a junior. Then they started talking about a story where when they were playing together, someone playing in a group ahead of them had written, "My achy, breaky heart in the sand trap with a club head." And of course, all this is a reference to Eric's well-documented medical history. I thought it was in poor taste and quite rude. And when I was told who it was, I was actually quite upset because I had been friends with this person for almost 10 years. But Eric thought the Billy Ray Cyrus reference was hysterical, and my friend said it's not like you ever hit the golf ball in the sand trap anyway. Eric is a great guy. Was a great guy. He was a great guy then. He's a great guy now. Anyway, Eric had another heart transplant in 2008 at the age of 28. He still battles vertigo during tournaments and must monitor and maintain a healthy heart rate, or he is forced to withdraw himself sometimes mid-tournament. Now, Eric left South Florida for the University of Georgia, where he would earn 2 All-Americans and play alongside fellow Bulldog Bubba Watson. Eric never really solidified himself in the PGA like Bubba Watson did. He toiled in the nationwide tour for years. In fact, this weekend's U.S. Open is only his second major in a 10-plus year professional golf career. So, for those of you watching the U.S. Open this weekend, just know that Eric Compton has some longtime fans rooting for him, including myself, my dad, Philip Burgos, Conor Pato, Stephen Tonkinson, Tiger Woods, and Christy Kerr. Win or lose today, we all know that every one of Eric's 3 different hearts has been the heart of a champion.
Man, I don't think there's a dry eye left in the house, dude. I hear people behind. That's a sad story. Although it's a happy story, but it's
Can you cut the sound
amazing
effect?
story.
Cut the sound effect. How is it a sad
Still,
story?
Well, no, I mean it's.
If you think it's this sad, you shouldn't have like sound effects. Add some like music.
No,
add some like strings
well,
or like orchestra.
I don't know what to
music or
add to it.
something.
I mean, no, it was a tearjerker story. That's a cool story.
Okay.
Though. That really is, and it's cool that you're involved in it, and cool that you know the guy.
How much were you made aware of Eric Compton before this story?
Honestly, I had no idea. I really haven't followed golf in a while, but
Okay.
I had absolutely no idea.
Story. That's the point of my story.
Yeah, make us aware. That's cool.
I mean, it's something like this strikes a chord with a lot of Warriors. Like there's a lot of Warriors, either themselves or someone they know, going through a tough time, whether it's medical or rehabilitation. Maybe it's like rehabilitation of a chemical nature, whatever it is. So
yeah, it makes it kind of puts my bag walk in perspective.
Explain to everybody what a bag walk is. You told me this morning, and I didn't know what you were talking about.
Fludini tweeted out last night that we had to have a bag skate, and so I'm like, "What's a bag skate?" So I look it up, and apparently, this is when a team performs so poorly that the coach makes them skate their bags off till they're so tired.
Oh God!
That was such a Bludini thing to throw into the discussion. I think it's way better than when he called me a duster. But that's my favorite word.
So where do you come in all this?
Well, I decided last night that we just hadn't been walking very well lately because it's been too hot. So I took Monk for a long uphill walk, and we just decided it would be a bag walk. And I posted a picture last night as well. We did actually walk our bags off, both of us. So yeah, but anyway, Cobb, excellent take. That's probably one of your best, and I'm very, very proud to be associated with you. Topical Tweets. So this morning we asked, why is your dad the greatest or worst dad in the world? And we got a few responses. So I'm going to read them, and then Mr. Cobb is going to provide excellent, insightful color commentary on these. So I Go Yard and BP tweeted, my dad taught me that when you shit in mixed company, you utilize your damn courtesy flushes like a gentleman.
Yeah, that's a super good lesson to learn. It lets people know like you got some impending doom next door,
yes,
or wherever, and it's appreciated.
And it clears a little bit of the air at the same time. But yeah, that is a signaling thing. That's really important. I hadn't thought of it that way before, Cobb. One of the things my dad taught me was when you treat, quote, the what everybody else thinks of the little people just like regular people, you can get a free sandwich or a free cup of coffee. So I learned this working with him at a major company in the early '90s, and he would just say hello to the lady who rang up the coffee and stuff at the cafeteria, and we often got free sandwiches and free coffees because we were the only people who said hello to her. Pretty weird.
Yeah. Okay.
Alex Hernandez tweeted, as previously discussed, my dad watches the local 24-hour Weather Channel and insists it's live. It's a loop running 24 hours. I feel bad for Alex trying to, tell his dad this conspiracy, his whole life, and his dad really probably wants to let him in that they do record it differently each time. They just they practice a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of practicing.
Yeah.
Alex, he's mentioned this sob story to us before.
Mm-hmm. I like to talk about the weather a lot.
Yeah, I feel bad for the guy.
He's why? Because he's focused on the weather like I am, right? Is that what that's about?
Brad, you don't need to worry about the weather. You live in Southern California.
Very, very true. Lupe tweets, put 4 kids through college with 4th grade education, hard work, and odd jobs. Never went to any of my games, and that's okay. I think I'm his favorite. And she also tweeted, God bless America. Yeah, agreed. That's impressive.
That's fantastic.
This is kind of a sad one. Maybe you could offer some advice for him. Johnny Ringo tweets, haven't seen my dad in 3 years, and he lives less than 2 hours away. Neither of us know why we've become estranged. # weird, huh?
It is weird. Maybe let's use Father's Day as a day to reach out. Maybe.
I think that's a good.
Be the first.
Be the first.
I
suggest to him. I suggest to him privately, and I would never reveal a private conversation with anybody. That he do something similar to that. Some specific little thing he could do. But that's be the first, Johnny. It's time. Jay Cobb tweeted, I met Eric Compton 17 years ago at the Biltmore Golf Course. I'll talk about it today on the TMV. We're all rooting for you. Is he a dad, by the way?
He is a dad. He's
good for him.
I believe it's a girl. And in fact, what's unfortunate is his family's not even there. They're not even at Pinehurst. They're in South Florida this weekend. Probably when the cool thing about his story is he doesn't really have a lot of success in tournaments, and this kind of probably caught them off guard. If he was somebody like Phil Mickelson, Phil Mickelson has this whole thing. I mean, Phil Mickelson, they fly in a private jet or whatever.
Yeah.
And
how did he qualify? And how's he doing, by the way? I haven't even looked at the leaderboard.
I have the game on mute behind me. I don't know how he qualified. How you have to qualify for the U.S. Open, you have to be a tournament winner, or you have to go through local tournaments. Like you have to qualify.
Okay, got it. Well, how's he doing right now? That's what I was really curious about.
Qualified. He might have just made it in doing basic qualification process.
Mm-hmm. And how's he doing? That's what I was really curious about. Do I need to check the leaderboard? Is that what you're telling me?
I'm going to do that right now. I mean, I thought I was going to be checking more of the tournament while we were broadcasting. He's even on the day.
Oh my goodness, he is second place.
Yeah, he was tied for second. I should have mentioned that in my piece that he was starting the day tied for second.
You did not. Yeah, he's in the second to last. He's in the second to last group, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Ricky Fowler had kind of a bad outing after the Central Ivory Coast Central whatever team went Ricky Fowler with their uniforms yesterday. Puma orange and Puma hats and all that. That is one thing I remember about Pumas. Pumas were the shoes for playing soccer. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
They definitely were the shoes back in the day.
Oh yeah. Pumas and Adidas, man.
Yeah, but mostly Pumas. Adidas kind of crept in probably. That was more your time, but back in the day, like when I played, it was all Pumas. Pumas were the shoes, dude. Rod Farva tweets, my dad is the greatest because he made me work for what I have. Didn't have to, but instilled a hard work ethic. Nothing given. I know you have something to say about that, Cobb.
Yeah, that's probably a father's biggest lesson he can give to his son. But a lot of fathers don't have the the privilege to give their children something. So I didn't know that Donald Sterling got Rod Favre's mom pregnant. Yeah.
We love you, Rod. We're just kidding you. Post Trillium's tweets. My dad once told me the coolest people out there were the ones that weren't trying to act cool. He's a pretty cool guy. Yeah, and I have to say, from the Christmas card that your family and friends did, wasn't that his family? It was his family, wasn't it? The family Christmas
like
card.
his cousins,
did.
Right? Where they're all wearing like the flannel cowboy western shirts or something.
Right.
They're just goofing off.
They had knives and long guns and everything pointed every which way. Yeah, that's a cool family, and you guys are definitely the cool guys. You don't even have to try. So let's see. That's topical tweets, huh? Who won topical tweets this week? Do you think?
Who won topical? Boaz Trilliums won topical tweets.
Okay, Boaz Trilliums, you are a topical tweets winner. Hipster or Canadian?
Oh, I do this. Sorry.
That's all right. Let me launch that. Let me launch that one again. Just a second here. Oh, where'd my mouse go? Hipster or Canadian?
In honor of the fantastic Stanley Cup final winning LA Kings on their historic NHL postseason, Brad and I are going to play a game of Hipster or Canadian.
Hipster or Canadian?
Here's how we play Hipster or Canadian. I'm going to give Brad a name and share with him a picture from my screen of that person, and Brad's going to guess and see if that person is hipster or Canadian. Feel free to play this game at home with your friends.
Cobb, I locked your screen, so if you have pictures, you can share them.
Okay, so first person is Wayne Gretzky. Brad, is Wayne Gretzky hipster or Canadian?
I'm going to go with Canadian.
And why would you say that?
Because he was born in Canada.
All right, very good.
Okay.
That's right. The next person we have here is... Let me pull up a picture of him real quick. Do you need a picture?
You're not sharing your screen. I don't need him. You know, we don't have to do that. We don't have to do the pictures if you don't want.
All right.
The audio is version you're going to hear him anyway.
Maybe there's a couple of people you might not be familiar with.
Okay.
Jim Carrey is Brad. Is Jim Carrey hipster or Canadian?
Jim Carrey is Canadian. He was also born in Canada. That's what makes him Canadian.
Very good.
Okay.
The next person on the docket is Twitter Hat Trick Club member Mead Indeed. Now, Brad, is Mead Indeed hipster or Canadian?
Yes. Yes.
That's absolutely right.
Actually, he is hipster. Not only that, he is hipster and Canadian.
We would have accepted Canadian, we would have accepted hipster, and we would have accepted your answer, hipster and Canadian. So all three of those are right, Brad. He is all of the above. He is Canadian, he is a hipster, and he is a hipster Canadian. Very well done, Brad. Very well done.
And my answer to that, by the way, was yes. That was my answer.
And we would have accepted yes also.
Okay.
And we did.
Okay.
All right. Next on the docket, Justin Bieber. Do you need a picture for this celebrity, Brad? Justin Bieber. Are you good without a picture?
I don't. He is definitely Canadian.
So Brad,
definitely not a hipster.
Is Justin Bieber a hipster or Canadian?
Canadian. He's not a hipster. He's Canadian. He's a giant pain in the ass.
That's absolutely right.
But he's Canadian.
A giant douchebag, and he's Canadian. Both those are unrelated. He just happens to be a douchebag from Canada.
From Canada,
Next,
yes.
Seth Rogen. Do you need a picture for Seth Rogen, Brad? Do you know who Seth Rogen is?
I don't need a. I think I know who Seth Rogen is.
Okay, he was in Superbad. He wrote Superbad. He was in 40-Year-Old Virgin. He was in Funny People with Adam Sandler. I think a lot of our audience is pretty familiar with whom Seth Rogen is. Now, Brad,
I'm gonna say hipster.
Is Seth Rogen hipster or Canadian? Why do you keep interrupting me? Do you have to interrupt me every time I ask you the question?
I didn't know you had to keep asking the
I feel
question.
like
I'm
you have
sorry. I'll
some
let you.
entitlement issues with this game or with the whole podcast in general.
I'll let you. Yeah, I sort of do. I'll let you ask the question. Seth Rogen is a hipster. Ask the question.
He's not. Is Seth Rogen a hipster or Canadian?
Oh, I was gonna pick hipster.
Wrong.
Oh,
He's Canadian.
He's Canadian. How about that?
He's Canadian. Okay, number 6. Do you need a picture for this? Let me get one anyway.
I have no idea who this person is.
You have no idea who this person is. All right, let me do a quick copy paste of who he is and his name.
Based on his last name, I'm gonna guess Canadian though.
I haven't even gotten there yet.
Okay.
All right. Go pull up, see if I can get some pics of this guy.
You gotta share your screen. You know how that works. I got you locked.
You already got me locked?
I already got you locked.
So I need to do a share screen now that I'm locked?
Yes.
Or does it already come through? All right. So I'll do a share screen.
Yeah, I just see your ugly
screen
face.
share. All right. I just got to do a desktop. All right. All right. Start screen share. Okay. Brad. Your next person on Hipster or Canadian is Devendra Banhart. Now, Brad, is Devendra Banhart hipster or Canadian?
Well, I think we got to go with hipster and Canadian, just like Meat Indeed.
Wrong. He's just a hipster. It's hipster or Canadian, not hipster and Canadian.
Oh, that's crazy.
He's a Northern California boy, much like yourself, and he happens to be one of the biggest hipster douchebags around. So he's hipster. He's not Canadian.
Not Canadian. Okay.
No, not Canadian. Let's close screen share.
Okay.
How do I do that? I think I just I did something and it stopped.
Just click the screen. There you go.
All right. On to the next person on Hipster or Canadian. Do you need a picture for this person, number 7?
No. I know who
the next person is Drake. Brad, is Drake a hipster or Canadian?
Drake is Canadian.
That's absolutely right.
Yes, he copies everybody, such as Justin Bieber, and he's basically a bandwagon Canadian. He probably likes American hockey now.
Ooh, shots fired, Brad. Shots fired.
Yeah, most Canadians do like American hockey because there really is no Canadian hockey anymore.
Okay, you probably
we took the NHL and moved it from Montreal to New York City. That's how American hockey is at this point.
For this next person, number 8, I don't believe you need a picture.
No, I don't.
How he looks isn't probably really that irrelevant. Isn't that relevant anyway. But I wanted
Senator Ted Cruz actually is, believe it or not.
Hey, wait, hold on.
Half Canadian.
Can you? Jesus, Brad. Stop it.
All right.
I'm going to screen share. I got a great picture of number 8 on our Hipster or Canadian game here.
Okay.
So, can you lock my screen share?
You're locked. You have to hit screen share.
All right, I'm already locked. All right, number 8 on Hipster or Canadian is Ted Cruz. Senator Ted Cruz from, I believe, Texas.
Oh, yeah. Look at his floppy little gums, dude. He's totally Canadian.
So here, you've got the American flag on his portrait. And, Brad, I have a question for you. Is Senator Ted Cruz, Texas Senator Ted Cruz, hipster or Canadian?
He is Canadian.
Very good. Very well done, Brad.
He is born in Canada to American parents, and so he has dual citizenship, which he plans to renounce when he runs for president unsuccessfully. At least that's what he says his plan is.
Okay.
Turn his back on his Canadian heritage.
On to number 9. Do you need a picture for Seth MacFarlane? Are you familiar with whom Seth MacFarlane is? He is the creator of Family Guy. He's the creator of American Dad. He was the star of A Million Ways to Die in the West. And I mean, he does a lot of animation, but he doesn't do a lot of. He's not in front of the camera very often, except when he does a terrible job hosting. What is it, the Oscars? So, Brad, do you need
except when he is in front of the camera. No, I'm familiar with the guy.
Okay, so my question for you, Brad, is Seth MacFarlane hipster or Canadian?
I'm gonna go with hipster on that. I don't think he is Canadian, is he?
That's absolutely right. Well done, Brad. Very well done.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, on to number 10. We have only two more people left. I need a picture for number 10. Do you know who Carrie Brownstein is?
I have no idea.
Yeah, Carrie Brownstein is a comedic actress on a show with Fred Armisen called Portlandia on the IFC network. You can catch seasons 1 and 2 on Netflix. She's also in a band. What's the band called again? I think it's Sleater-Kinney. I think it might be Sleater-Kinney. I don't want to say it without knowing for sure. Yes, it is Sleater-Kinney. And here's a picture. Do I need a screen share again?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to screen share because I don't think you know who she is.
I have no idea.
Desktop screen share. And
so I'm going to have to look and see if she has flappy lips.
Yeah, so there's a picture of her there. Let me see if I can Google some images of her. There's images of her there. She's got short hair, bright red lipstick. So, Brad, my question for you is Carrie Brownstein hipster or Canadian?
I'm just gonna go with hipster on this one.
That's right, and a lot of the cues there are is that she is in fact a musician. She does she has her own show on IFC. She has short black hair, like and she wears like vintage clothing. If you go look at her days at Sleater-Kinney, you can see that she's definitely a hipster. Very good guess. Not knowing who she is a very good guess, Brad.
Thank you.
Do you need a picture for the last person?
Who's the last person?
Number 11. Gandhi. Gandhi is the last person on this list.
I don't know. You shouldn't share your screen. You shouldn't share your screen with all our secrets on it, though.
Right. So, Brad, my question for you, number 11 on our game of hipster or Canadian is Gandhi.
Gandhi.
Is Gandhi a hipster or Canadian?
Well, to paraphrase, actually to completely copy Stephen Lynch, Gandhi is what they said, an Indian with a bald head, and he was a bit underfed. Write it down, mother. Right? I'm going to say, yes, he was Canadian.
No. Sorry.
Gandhi was not Canadian. He's Indian.
Of Indian heritage. Spent time in South Africa, but was never
in Canada.
Ever Canadian. So by default, he's a hipster.
So that's the one that I missed. I went 10 for 11.
You went 10 for 11.
Thank you very much, Cobb. That was.
But you get extra credit for. You went 10 for 11, but you get extra credit for correctly spotting that Meat Indeed was a hipster Canadian, not either or, but that he was both, and that Senator Ted Cruz was actually half Canadian. Mm-hmm. So we'll give you a 12 out of 10.
Oh, thank you very much, Cobb. That was a very fun game show. All right, we ready to finish this off?
All right.
Thanks to the tweeters for participating in Topical Tweets this afternoon. Thanks to the listeners, whether you listen live or on the podcast, for giving us an hour of your time, plus the bonus time for the injury done to my ego, and the injury done to Cobb's Chrome. Thanks to Jay Cobb for doing the video cast with me. Happy Father's Day, buddy.
Thank you, Brad. Please let us know what you thought of today's show on Twitter. Hashtag TheTMV. The edited podcast will be up on Monday evening for you to enjoy during the week. We'll see you next Sunday afternoon at our regular scheduled time for another fun hour of the TMV.
So what do you got planned after this?
I got a barbecue.
Oh yeah, where's the barbecue?
I'm gonna have it in the backyard, in the back patio.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Hopefully
that's
the
cool.
dogs don't jump on the grill and try to eat all our hot dogs. But maybe
dishwasher
I'll feed
finished
them first. Dishwasher's done.
Dishwasher.
I don't hear it anymore.
Very good. All right, Cobb. Next Sunday. See you then.
Late.
Last song, you've made it to the last song. Only means you're listening or watching to the end. Last song, you made it to the last song. It only means you're listening.